The next system that I will explain is game objects and their given life cycle. Uh, so the very first thing is the game object folder that all of the ubbles derive from. It has its big four, it has its call for the connection to the scene and its disconnection to the scene, as well as its scene entry and scene exit that the user overload when it comes time to enter and leave the scene. In these two calls, the user will call the the submit registrations and deregistrations, as well as any other information that the user decides to implement. Submit entry and submit exit are the calls for entry and exit, and these are the overloaded. Going into it, we have iterator and delete references for quickly removing an object to and from the game objects managers. We have the current state of the game object, whether it is or is not on the screen, as well as the entry command and the exit command. The entry command is the command pattern for when going through the proper channels to enter and exit the game objects manager. All it has is the execute function. The exit is very much the same. The game manager basically only contains an STD list, the very top being an enumeration class for a scene ID, whether a scene is entering or exiting the screen. We have our big four. We have our registration of a game object to our STD list, and again the deregistration to and from our STD list. We have a list of objects that have entered and objects that have exited for our system, so that way any object that has entered the screen is defined as on the screen, exited is available for a resource pool when needed. And we have the ability to process the elements, that being entering and exiting things when need be. To illustrate something else that is wanted to be shown is showing something properly entering and exiting the screen using a factory. So at the very bottom of the screen, we can see that a new cottage was created. So through the factory, you can see now we have 4 cottages. If I destroy one, a cottage has been returned to our factory. So as you see, now we have one in our stack, 3 on screen. More and more new ones keep getting created, but everything does eventually return and get deleted. So ours on screen and deleted. All the other ones are managed by the internal system, which I don't have for the debug, but that should cover game object lifecycle.